comfort and avoidance. Yet, there's a fine line. Solitude can heal, but it can also isolate. Comfort can restore, but it can also numb. The man who loves staying home must stay aware of this tension. When solitude becomes avoidance, peace turns into stagnation.
Here, if you just put one foot after the other, God will bring you to the place that you're supposed to.
The key lies in intention. Does he stay home to connect with himself or to hide from the world? Healthy solitude is active. It's mindful. It nurtures creativity, reflection, and rest. Unhealthy solitude is passive. It feeds avoidance, fear, and disconnection. The psychology of this man, then, is not static. It's a living dance between engagement and retreat, between the outer and inner world. 12. The home as a mirror of self. Over time, his home becomes an autobiography, written not in words, but in choices. The colors he picks, the books he keeps, the objects he refuses to throw away. Each tells a story. His home is not an escape from life, but a reflection of how he chooses to live it. It's where he thinks, heals, creates, and recharges. It's where his truest self feels safe enough to exist without performance. And perhaps that's the essence of his psychology. He doesn't need the world to tell him who he is. He already knows. The man who loves staying at home is not a mystery. He is a mirror, a reflection of what happens when a human being chooses to slow down in a culture that cannot stop moving. He stands at the edge of modern society like a still figure watching a river rush by, calm, deliberate, aware that the current, though powerful, often leads nowhere. His psychology reveals more about the world than about himself. Because to understand why he stays home, we must first understand what he is staying away from. 1. A culture addicted to distraction. We live in an age that fears stillness. Every empty moment must be filled. Every silence must be broken. Every pause is treated like a problem to be solved. In that environment, the man who enjoys solitude becomes an anomaly. He's not resisting people, he's resisting pressure. Psychologists call this the stimulation paradox. The more stimulation society offers, the less tolerance people develop for quiet. The man who stays home, however, has reclaimed that tolerance. He has rewired his mind to feel alive without the constant buzz of validation. He doesn't crave the quick dopamine hit of attention or approval. Instead, he finds satisfaction in subtler rewards, focus, peace, and depth. This makes him in a way more free than those who seem busy living, because he's no longer enslaved by the rhythm of the crowd. 2. The depth of self-containment. There is a psychological concept known as self-containment, the ability to derive emotional stability and satisfaction from one's own inner life rather than external reinforcement. For most people, the self is like an open window, constantly influenced by the weather of other people's moods and opinions. For him, the self is a house with sturdy walls and open light. The world may storm outside, but he remains centered. Self-containment is rare because it requires emotional discipline. It demands comfort with silence, patience with solitude, and a strong inner narrative. The man who loves staying at home is not empty. He is full of thoughts, ideas, reflections, questions. His inner world is textured, layered, endlessly alive. That is why he doesn't depend on endless motion to feel alive. His life moves inward. 3. The fear of still men. Yet society often reacts uneasily to such men. Why? Because stillness threatens the illusion of progress. When people see someone who refuses to run with the herd, they begin to question their own direction. His calm becomes a quiet accusation, not through words, but through contrast. He doesn't flaunt wealth, status, or validation. He doesn't need to prove how busy or important he is, and that, in a world built on showing, is radical. There's a subtle strength in a man who doesn't chase attention. His detachment unsettles people who mistake noise for value. He doesn't play the social game because he has already seen through it. This can make him misunderstood, labeled distant, strange, even cold. But those labels are merely society's defense mechanisms against what it doesn't understand. A man at peace with himself. 4. The philosophy of solitude. Solitude to him is not an escape from life, it's an entry into it. Philosophers like Nietzsche, Pascal,